catalyst for change with the chance to thrive. Crystal is the one to stir up gifts and save lives. You get exposure, promotion, and marketing too. And advertise for business owners just like you. On Storytime, your interview is global. Virtual or in person, just come on the show. Yo, your story matters. Crystals will open the door. 40 years of experience, ready to give you more on Storytime. Get ready for Storytime. Hey, come on.
Welcome to Storytime. I am so excited to be here with you today. It's been a minute, y'all, but we always try to find an interesting individual to bring you to let you know what's happening out there that's important in your community, in your city, or in your state. And this one is special. This one is real special. I have a young lady that I have met actually through one of my daughters. And her name is Paige Waymar. And Paige is out of Orangeburg, all right? The good old town of Orangeburg. And I met her in Charlotte when her and my daughter attended Johnson C. Smith. So this is going to be a real good one. She's a female Black scientist, pretty much. She's excellent. This young lady has a double major. I think she has a Bachelor of Science, if I remember correctly, in chemistry and biology. And I'm so proud of her. She also has a minor in mathematics. She's gifted. She's well-rounded, a beautiful individual. She has so many skills. She has culinary skills. She has political skills. She has medical skills. And I can't wait for you to meet her. So listen, I want to let you do that because I think I see her knocking at the door. So let's get this thing started today. So Paige, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I am. How you doing, Miss Crystal?
I'm doing just amazing. I thank you so much because I know you start your day really early in the morning. So I wanted to get you in.
Yeah,
I know that I appreciate you taking time to do this on a Sunday afternoon. How's your day going?
it's going pretty good. Pretty much got everything taken care of. Got a chance to eat some Sunday dinner and lay down for a minute.
Did you cook that dinner?
Yes, I did. You know I did.
Okay, so I gotta ask, what was on the menu? What was on the menu?
So I cooked some stuffed salmon. I made a cranberry garden salad. I had some sauteed garlic green, just a little chicken Alfredo with bacon and veggies. That's
Wow,
it.
wow, wow. Nothing simple. Listen, before we get into that,
That's
because I
simple.
know about the culinary skills, man. That very impressive, very tasty. Before I always ask people about their childhood. People may not have met you. Can you tell the people who is Paige Waymar and take us back to childhood days? Who was Paige Waymar, the little girl?
Yeah, Paige Women, the little girl was very busy. Um, I'm the baby of five kids, sisters and two older brothers, and then of course me. Um, I did a lot of sports growing up. I stayed outside all the time, so now I get to enjoy when it's hot. Now I get to stay in the inside because I was outside, especially in the summertime. 12 o'clock when it hit 12, till way like 8, 9 o'clock. You bring it on down. You walk it on down throughout the day. From 12, you walk it on down. 9 o'clock, you in front of the house. You're gonna go back in the inside because you're gonna play a couple spades in front of the household and just chill and water balloon fights. I did a lot of traveling when I was a kid, though, because my older sister lived in New York, so I would go to Brooklyn, and then my favorite great aunt lived in Ohio, so I would go to Columbus or I'll be in Youngstown, Ohio. So I travel a lot, especially with like playing sports, softball. So that was fun. I guess you could say now it's like AAU in a sense, but we still call it travel softball and um just very active. I mean, when I was in school, I played anything that had a ball, volleyball, basketball, softball, at 135. I'm a state basketball champion. Here with Orangeburg Wilkinson, what we won that in what 2000. So yeah, almost won one with Johnson C. Smith.
Wow.
Softball. Actually, I was part of the only softball team that made it to the championships. Me and
Wow.
my friend Carrie Lynn and a whole bunch of other girls. But yeah, we did that.
So was
Yeah,
this part of the
came up a little
dream?
short.
Was this a part of the dream to play sports when you were little? Did you want to be a
Uh, Actually, I wanted to be in the WNBA like really bad. I remember when the WNBA started off and everything, but just had other plans, especially when I got to college and was playing sports and became stronger at playing. Then it was a point in time whereas in I was getting recruited by other schools, but I just happened to like Smith a whole lot better. So my loyalty was to Smith.
Mm-hmm.
But other schools were actually really trying to like steal me away from Smith. I actually found my niche. I had a good time. I played volleyball and basketball. And was on the bowling team at Smith. But I guess if I'm being honest with you, when I was learning how much they were making, I was like, I'm good. Because to me, in my head, that salary was like, I was like plant. I can go back home and work in a plant and make that same amount of money. It wasn't worth it to me. I love the game, don't get me wrong, but I'm a smart person.
Wow.
The label of love was not gonna get me. I had other talents, and so
So let me
I
ask you this.
finessed my.
Wow. So let me get this right. Softball, volleyball, basketball, and you
Mhm.
named one more. What was the fourth one?
I was on the bowling team in college, but in high school I was on the wrestling team, and I wrestled at
Wow.
135. Yeah.
Man, so so which one is your first love out of all five of those?
I say softball, if I'm being honest with you. Softball. I kind of fell out of love with basketball. Too. So, I mean, I still watch it all the time. And I love baseball. I love baseball. But
Wow.
uh,
Wow. All
I guess
around sports
depending on which day it is. Volleyball is a lot of fun, though.
okay. So let me
And
ask you this. Let me ask you this, and I don't know if we have a lag, but let me ask you this. So I'm gonna pause
mhm.
before I say something because I don't want to cut you off because it
No,
seems
you
like
don't have a lag. I got you.
how much did your education and your upbringing help to make you the player you was with all of that? Because a lot of times people want to play sports, but they're lacking something and they don't have the discipline they need. So, what do you think it took to make you be so successful in five sports when it comes to your upbringing and your education?
Well, I think it was a little bit different for us too. You got to understand, we really love playing sports, and we understood if you didn't have the grades, you couldn't go nowhere, and that was kind of drilled in us where I grew up at. Around here, most of your educated parents and a lot of the people who helped you with programs or taught you or that you saw outside of school were like your friends' parents. So it was like a full circle thing. We never, you were encouraged by everyone. It was really like a village, and people really took care of us. And so it's a little bit it's different. It's just different now. And on top of that, like we had a big exposure, especially since we were close to two universities here, two black universities here. And so, you got a lot of Greek well because they did a lot of programs within the community and stuff. So um I knew in order to leave here or to go anywhere, I had to have grades. So that wasn't even, and I think everybody around here knew that. And it was okay if you stayed here because you had two great. And then if you just went a couple miles outside of the city, you would fall into like Voorhees or Denmark Tech or something. So you're surrounded by good schools and education and things like that around here, and a lot of our programs and stuff that we had. And then we were taught responsibility stuff when I was in high school, but I also had a job. As soon as I walked in the high school after I turned 15, got a job, and I think it was the same thing with driving. Soon as everybody that I know, you want to go take your permit the day you turn 15. Later on, you start driving. So yeah, we've always just kind of been like hitting the ground running and knowing the importance of education and where to take you because we saw great examples.
Wow. Was your parents strict? Did you
hmm
did you grow up in a household where it was like you better get good grade? Don't come in here with no, failing mark. 'Cause
I just knew. I just knew. That is, I can't explain it. My mom, she stressed the importance of it. And my siblings, because if I'm be 1,000 with you, what really understand education was the fact that I went to college with my older siblings. Everywhere they went, I went. So I was in high school for a long time. I was in college for a long time because there is a big gap between me and my older sibling. So I got them. So my mom never really had to worry too much because, I was the youngest and they always looked out for me and took care of me. So I went to work with one sibling and just sat there, and that's why I hardly eat Subway now. It's like a late night snack for me. And school is always because my sister used to take me to class with her, and I would participate in the class. I would raise my hand, and the teachers would let me answer questions and stuff in the class too. So the things that I like are the things that I've always kind of been around.
excellent. So one last question about being in the schools with your sibling. Did you feel like you were always being watched, or you had to follow their footsteps? Because a lot of times when you have older siblings at your school, then people think you have to follow their footsteps.
No, we all have different paths. But we're all very different. Yeah, yeah, no,
Excellent.
we're not the same at all. Everybody did their own thing.
And then you started to branch off. You got older and you began to dip into different things. You went away from sports and you started to get a love for cooking and you started to get a love for political things. Talk to me about that. When did that happen?
I've never really stepped away from anything. It's just some things get amplified more at certain points of time. I've always been involved in politics because it started in middle school with politics. Really, it was a way. I was actually kind of bad and more of a entrepreneur when I was in middle school. I made a lot of money selling candy, and they actually kind of came up with a little task force to try to stop me. So coming like the class president was sort of kind of like my way of slowing down and them trying to slow down my entrepreneurial skills. It really didn't work, but you know, I put on a good front for it, and it went from there. And I was the class president from 8th grade to 12th grade, being the school president. I've always been a leader in my class, and yeah, I dibbled and dabbled, so a lot of these things that I've done have always just kind of been a part of my personality. And I know that I have people like to be around me. They like my vibe, my energy. I get that a lot. So I don't do anything extra. I'm just being myself. So politics have always been there, and I've always been vocal about it. And cooking is just that's actually something I do to relax.
Wow.
I
So
cook.
you were a leader in school. What did you implement any policies or make any changes that are still in place at your schools now today?
Nah. Other than the fact that the kids would take what in the 9th grade we took a freshman trip. So, but schools are different now. You can't. Yeah, things are way.
Wow. So now I understand you're thinking about picking up that political torch again. I've seen you run before, and this year I think you're thinking about running for office. Talk to us about that.
Yeah. I'm running for council Orangeburg for the city this time around. Only because I have some outside projects that wouldn't let me focus just solely on being the mayor of Orangeburg, and I feel like if you do something like that, you got to give it 150%, not 110. This is 150%, but that even if I'm run for council and I'm over my area, I can still implement things here that we can still grow out the city, and it could be just a trial run until I become mayor again, in 2029. So not putting anything on, but just being responsible and knowing how to lead and knowing what you are prepared for and what you may have to step back in order for you to move forward. So that's just me being responsible.
So here's what I'm going to do for the people who've never met you before. So when they come back and do this replay, so they know I'm going to put you on solo camera. So you can tell the people who is Paige Waymar, why you're running for office, and what it is that you'd like to see. What is the vision that you have if you get in office, and what you plan to do?
Uh, um, I'm just a kid from Orangeburg, around here with great influences and great activities and things to do. And I see a city that's deprived of a lot of these things. And I see kids that just want, to be understood and to have some type of freedom and to have some type of growth and not feel like I'm running for office because I believe in Orangeburg. I mean, I'm a product of it, and that's what you want to do. You want to produce, great flowers that go out into the world and spread seeds, and then they come back and they bring back that knowledge and they spread those seeds. The environments that they grew up in grow and be better. And so that's why I'm running for office. And I mean, I put the people first all the time. I love being from here, and I've gone around the world and been the whole time I go and I tell somebody about little Orangeburg, I can almost guarantee that I'm gonna meet somebody who's been through this way and they understand, that little bit of that southern hospitality of how the people are nice and they welcome you there and you're like family. We're good people here. It's just we have to understand that we may be going through a little difficult period, but we are literally that down and in the rough in South Carolina. We really are. And I see so much potential and so many great things that can happen here. And I just need for the people here to believe that and not get swept up into, as we say, the politics of things or the right and wrong of things.
Let me ask you this question. What's the statistic like in Orangeburg? Are the people coming out and voting like they need to for town council? And I know this is a
Uh,
twofold question because the second part is, are they waiting for the presidential election?
No, I mean they vote, but very little, and especially when we're talking about city politics. But I think that they're starting to get the hang of it. I've been beat down on their necks for a very long time, so hopefully it'll turn out because it gets better every year. Like I said, uh, I'm very vocal. We have some other great guys in the community that are vocal about, voting and trying to make sure that you're involved in the community. So there's a lot of great guys, a lot that are involved in trying to get the community out.
Now, for those people who don't really understand what the responsibility is for town council and how they support other people like the mayor and others, explain that. What is the role of those in the council?
Well, for us, we only had the council seats and the mayor. So, of course, the mayor is over the municipal. So, pretty much, he has a city administrator who helps him with the day to day. And so, council people mainly take care of, problems or issues or things that are going on within their sector of the city because the city is always divided up within districts, and just depending on where you live, just depends on how many seats you have on your council.
Wow. So, who was it that you look up to in that arena when it comes to you being passionate about doing things in the community and making a difference? Who is it that you really compare yourself to?
Nobody. I mean, I'm not influenced by anyone. I take bits and pieces. Well, no, you know what? I'm gonna take that back. I do have I do have a young man that I was introduced to through a classmate. My classmate Jared Lodeho. He's doing some great things as well. He's a great lawyer, but also another good classmate of mine, Bakari Sellers. He's another great young man who's doing great things around here. But I see these two guys, and I think a schoolmate of theirs is the for mayor down in Alabama. I think his last name is Woodfin. Don't kill me on this, but yeah, I actually like how he moves and the things that he says. And the Baltimore mayor, the mayor in Baltimore, that young man, he's really good. But as far to anyone or modeling myself, and I no one, because I'm a little too honest. And to be in this arena, you can't be as honest as I am. So uh, I don't need anything from anyone. I don't need to scrape, scam, rob Peter, dirty word, any of those things. Um, I'm as clean as it gets, which is a oxymoron in this game. Because sometimes you gotta rub certain hands or look a certain way for certain things, but I don't believe in that. I'm here to serve the people. I want the people to feel comfortable. I want to be like Allstate. I want them to be safe. I just want the betterment for us, and I want us to understand and unlock um, a lot of powers that we have and move forward.
Wow. Are you doing things out in the community where people can expect to see you while you're running?
Yeah, for the most part, I do a lot of going out and speaking to the kids and talking to them and being out in my community in the neighborhoods and stuff, and try to help people here and there. You get those phone calls or those text messages, so I do that a lot. Just speak to people when they and try to help people out when I can, and just be around. You see my face, I partake in the places around here. I spend my money in Orangeburg. I keep it around here, especially some of the small businesses. I like to talk to the people around here, so it's not like I'm a no around.
Wow. I want to show this article that I saw because I did see the article where your friend did, and that
Yeah.
was a pretty cool article. And looks like for those who don't know, like I said, she has a medical background, and she's
Mhm.
a scientist. We're going to talk about that side of her for a minute. And congratulations. And the health side. I mean, she used to have a billboard out there because she's passionate about what she does with when it
Mhm.
comes to health. So congratulations on this article that you have. And you said this is out in California. And
Yeah.
I know that one thing you talked about in here, I want to get into when you talked about medical research and science. And so I just wanted to highlight and show this and say this is really, really good. I'm really proud of you for this and for the whole journey, for bringing you and showing you. And this is a great question that she asked you. I'll ask this question to you also. She said, what's the number one obstacle or challenge you're currently facing, and what are you doing to try to resolve it or overcome this challenge? I want to turn that into not just a personal challenge, but obstacle when it comes to just running the race that you're running right now. What is the biggest challenge right now for that?
Biggest challenge we got, period, is small minds.
Mm,
People who can't see past their front door.
mm.
That's, I mean, I think that's going to be the obstacle for anybody. A lot of times, a lot of people don't like change. So I'm always going to run it. And I'm young. I'm
Wow.
young. I want change. And I see past the front door. I got off the front porch. That's a problem for a lot of people. So that's the
Wow.
obstacle.
Now I want to switch gears for a quick second and talk about the scientist side of you, the scientist, the medical side of you. When did you realize that that was something you wanted to do? How old was you? And I know you said that you had all these tips, but when did you start to shift and say, I want to do this? Because I believe you even have your own lab. So talk to me about that part.
It think towards the end of my ninth grade year in high school, for everything that I knew, I was gonna go into like being a broker. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a real estate broker, and I had a teacher who said talent for science, and maybe I should explore it. And that's what I did, and it changed. I went from wanting to be a real estate broker to wanting to be an OBGYN, and then that changed before I graduated because I had a little internship at the hospital, at a pathologist there, Dr. Shippey, and he put me on the pathology, and I liked that. And I've just always liked being in labs. I've always been good at it. I'm good at lab work. I like what I do. It's interesting. It's never the same thing every day. So yeah, science for me is awesome. And on top of that, like I've gone to school and I have a master's in forensic science and I have a certificate in public health. So just try to tie it all in together, and just with public health, knowing how that helps, trying to get that out to everybody, and working at a community, center at one point in time, a health community center at one point in time, being over the laboratory and trying to advance them as well with some of the more modern techniques that we can use for diagnosing certain things with people, just in house instead of having to keep sending. So I've always been pretty good with reading journals and staying on top of research, and knowing certain things. Because I actually, when I was in college, I did a lot of ecology work. So
Mm,
I've had the pleasure of working around all the different scopes. You know,
wow, wow, that's amazing.
I've used my chemistry degree as well. So I've worked in chemistry as well. So I've used all of my degrees and everything I know.
Now that's the first, because do you know how many people graduate and they don't even go into the area that they have their degree in? So that's amazing. You're using them all. Forensic.
Yeah, but I made myself. I made it a thing to want to take jobs in my area, and on top of that, when I was in school, I made sure to do internships in my area so that I wouldn't have that issue when I graduated. Because the biggest thing is always you don't have. Well,
The
yeah,
biggest thing is you don't have what?
the experience. When it's time to get an entry level job, they always say you don't have the experience. You don't get if you just went to school and you didn't do anything, you don't have the experience. You just know what you read, and and a lot of people don't utilize it in the correct way. We network to party and have a good time, but you're supposed to network in order to make sure you set yourself up after college so you can have a job and start your career.
Let me ask you this. With robots taking over, AI taking over, all these things, when it comes to that field, in the lab, do you feel like it's job security there?
Yeah, a computer can't do what I do. I'm gonna always have a job. Now, for the other part of the lab work, computers run the test, but yeah, no, there's always gonna be a job in my field.
So you would highly recommend, if someone is not sure what they want to do, to look into it. What do they have to really be interested in? I mean, you can't be leery of blood or certain things that go into that field, right? You have to love certain things to be in the lab, right?
hmm Yeah, you do. You got like long hours.
Oh
You
wow.
got like paying attention to details, seeing the small things. It's not what you see on CSI or anything like detailed and structured and steps and protocols. So yeah.
Have you ever done anything like that from the forensic side, where people actually go in and dealt with bodies? Have you ever dealt with bodies or animals?
No, I've dealt with bodies before. Autopsy. I do histology, so I used to do autopsies and stuff. And right now, I just cut tissue for the pathologist. And I tell people it's pretty much anything that comes off of you when you go to the hospital. You know, any surgery or derm or the colon doctor, you know, endoscopy, all of that stuff and process it right
Wow.
now. Hmm.
So let me think of this question that I want to ask you. Knowing what you know, from things that you've seen in the lab, is there anything that you would want to share to individuals about what they should be careful about when it comes to their bodies or their health?
Just take care of yourself. Things in moderation. That's all I can really tell you. Go to
Gotcha.
the doctor. Use your insurance.
Yeah. Get some insurance. How about that? Because a lot of
Yeah,
people are
get some insurance.
yeah,
Right, but you got clinics and stuff. So whenever, if you don't have insurance, if a clinic is doing something for free, go.
yeah. But don't overlook the the signs that you see and make sure you take care of your
Yeah,
body. That's
done. Cause I mean, they gotta take care of you. I mean, I know it may be, but cause nobody wants to get that bill after the fact, especially if you don't have insurance. But don't ignore your body.
well, I think it is so amazing when I see you, and I know you've always enjoyed it. You've always enjoyed it, and I believe that in your field, you pretty much have to enjoy it to do it because people don't stay in certain fields if they don't have a love for it. Because, like you said, in order to pay
No, don't.
people, you have to love it. You have to be able to love it. You know. So the other thing I know about you, Paige, is that you also have a love for cooking, and you. I'm surprised that you didn't open a restaurant, really, because the way you were putting things down and people were ordering from you, you could have succeeded in catering.
Well, I do have a catering business, and I succeed in that. But I'm working on some other projects, so you never know. You might see something. That's just I'm being. But yeah, I've always cooked. Even cooked in college when I stayed in the dorms. I used the kitchen. Um, I cooked outside. I cooked in my dorm room. We had a hot plate, and I used to share with the girls that lived across the hall from me because I had to kept a lot of stuff in my refrigerator. But like I said before, it distresses me. It's real relaxing, nice and calm for me. Way for me to work out my OCD a little bit.
So what's that number one dish that everybody when you make it, they coming from the north, the south, and the east, the west. If you tell them you making that dish, what is that dish?
Chalk grilled oysters.
Mm.
Yeah, they're gonna come if I'm cooking oysters on the grill. They're gonna come regardless, especially if I say I'm cooking ribs. But they're gonna come. If I say they're gonna come.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow, that's amazing. So Paige, most people know about these things about you. They know about the political side, the medical side, the chemistry side, the culinary side, the sports side of you, the community side of you. What tell us something that people don't know about Paige Waymar.
I say to myself a lot. As much as people are around me and want to come around me, I'm actually by myself a lot. And I can make myself, kind of like disappear within the crowd. I can You'll feel like I'm there. I've heard that before. Somebody was like, I thought I saw you I felt you around. But no, I pretty much like to stay to myself. People like being around me. I don't shun them away or anything like that. Just tell them to come on. But for the most part, I'm on.
Wow. And have you traveled abroad internationally?
Mhm.
Where have
Yes.
you been?
I've been to Greece. I've been to Colombia. Been a couple places. Yeah.
I love Greece.
Bahamas.
What part of Greece did you go to?
Mykonos.
Oh
Had a good
man,
time. Hmm.
I I stayed in a hotel right on the beach when I was in Mykonos Island, and
Hmm.
I- Mykonos and Santorini. How important do you think it is for people who've never been anywhere outside the U.S. that they should really explore? And I know I'm
Just
gonna
depends.
say
Just depends on if they want to be cultured. Yeah, a lot of people don't want to go nowhere. So I got an uncle that's like that. So he's fine where he's at, and I just meet people where they are. You don't want to go nowhere? That's fine. Stay where you at. Go where you comfortable and where you like to be. Yeah, a lot of people don't like to travel.
and I find that to be that is true. I'm finding that to be very true, but it's like I feel like they're missing out. I feel like they're missing out. Bless you if you sneeze. I feel like
Mhm.
they should go somewhere, even if they don't want to get on a plane, take an Amtrak, get on the Greyhound, do something, get to a
They don't
RV.
want to go nowhere. They don't want to go nowhere. Let them leave. Let 'em, some people are just like that. Let them stay. Let them be where
Wow,
they at.
wow. So
Hmm.
Paige, what next? It's 2025. By 2035, what do you see yourself doing by then?
2035. I'm gonna be retired. I have a couple businesses. I won't be working on nobody's job. I'm gonna just be honest with you, and I see that in my near future, very soon. So yeah, I'm gonna retire and I'm gonna be chilling, island hopping, relaxing, taking it easy. I don't know what the American dream is anymore, so I'm just gonna say I'm gonna be living my dream, and that's it.
You know what? I love
Helping the
that
people out
because,
in my community.
yes, I love the fact that you are planning retirement because I think that's very important. A lot of people, when they are living day to day or paycheck to paycheck and doing the things they're doing and choosing their, you know, things that they're doing in life, a lot of them are not thinking ahead. They're not thinking ahead.
No,
I'm so
that as
happy
a
that
kid, that was a life goal. That was a life goal as a kid. I always said I wasn't gonna work forever, and I definitely wasn't gonna work for somebody else all my life. So that's a life goal, and I'm gonna hit that.
that's good. That's
Hmm.
good. That's good. So, Paige, I've asked you several questions, and I always like to give my guests the opportunity to speak on some things that I might not have asked that you just might want people to know about Paige. You're running for office. This is a critical time right now. So whether it has to do with your campaign, whether it has to do with your passion, your field, or you just personally, what would you like to say to the people? And what do you want the people to say about Paige when she is no longer around? What do you want your legacy to be?
I was a real one. That's what I want my legacy to be. I was a real one. I was an honest person. I didn't judge anybody, and I didn't talk about it. You could hold a secret with me, you know, and I will hold on to it. That's what I want people to say about me when I'm gone. But I want parents to know that it's cool for you to tell your kids to be smart and things in school. Um, Especially now, we need that, and more than just sports. We need you to be smart academically and want to participate in that. Um, that's it. That's really all I got. I no, I don't really talk about myself a whole lot,
But
or
I like
go in like that. But um,
but
I'm a people person. You can come up to me. You can talk to me. I'm easygoing. But definitely, yeah. As far as my legacy goes, I want people to say I was a real one. I was a good person. I was a really good person. That's what I want my legacy to be.
let's go back to what you started to say to the parents. You want the parents to know some things, and you
It's
said
okay.
something. You said be smart.
Yeah. I
Today
want the parents to know that it's okay for them to push their kids to be smart, and for kids to know that it's okay to be smart. It's okay to raise your hand in class and know the answer, and it's okay to know certain things or be a little different in that area because we need more, and they don't think that we have that. So. Yeah, that's normally what I say when I talk to the kids about school. It's okay to be smart. It's okay to know things. It's definitely okay to share it because that's what we got to do. We got to share information. We got to share knowledge.
What do you say to the children that are feeling that they're not seen and they're not heard because the parents are not around or because the parents are on the go or the parents are always looking on their phone or doing something else? They're not paying attention. What do you say to the children?
Well, that's on the kid to find somewhere where they can hide or understand or find a. I know a lot of kids don't have a self push. I had a self push because, I had a mother that worked and I had siblings that looked after me. And so I understood that, there were things that needed to be done and things that needed to be understanding, but people have to talk to their kids and try to at least explain things to them. Don't just give your kid a tablet or give them an activity or put them in something to push them off. I don't believe in doing things like that. I thank my mother all the time because even though I go and my siblings want to go, we ate dinner together every night. When she cooked or if my siblings cooked, that's the one thing we did as a family. We ate dinner together. So at the table. So
Yes,
you
yes.
got to find those moments. Yeah. And to this day, right now, even with my friends, when I cook, we sit down and we eat at so it's always good to talk, just have
I'm so
conversation.
I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that. That needs to be repeated. Sit down and eat with your family, like I did too. My family, we ate at the table, and nowadays parents are not sitting down with their children at the table. They are putting them at the table by themselves, or either they're in one room, they're eating in another. So that is so important. And like you said, talk to them, hear them, see them,
Hmm.
pay attention to them. Those things are so
Hmm.
so important. So I do believe that with the things that I've heard you say, no matter what you do, you're going to make a difference. You're going to be impactful, and
Hmm.
definitely are going to be successful. So I appreciate you uh, for just coming through and just sharing all the things that you've shared with us because you know you got your head on right. You got your head on right. You know
Thank you.
you
I
have your head
appreciate
on right.
that. I try.
I definitely do see that. And like I've told you before, if there's anything I can do from North Carolina to help you with your campaign, are you
Mhm.
campaigning to the point where you want to leave some information to tell people? Like a lot of time when people are running, they're saying, "Hey, it takes money to campaign." So as you campaign right now, do you have any type of projects going on where you want people where they can donate or do anything if people want to support you?
I didn't set up anything for anybody to donate this time. I'm just gonna hit it. Boots running. Excuse me. But just follow me on Paige Waymar on Facebook, and that's Paige with an I. Really, and political Paige Waymar on IG, and that's it.
Okay. So what you want them to do is just make sure they follow you and make sure that they do that and follow you by your name. So, ladies and
Hmm.
gentlemen, she said just follow her by her name, and her name is spelled like you see it right there on the page, Paige Wamer, and ask out, reach out, and find out what you can do if you're in the area. If you're in that area, Paige, what is the information as far as when people can start to go out and vote for you? What do you know what the deadlines are?
Early voting starts August 9th, and I think you have to register by August 9th as well if you're going to participate in the election. And it has you have to live in the city. Uh, yeah,
Oh,
all these
okay,
elections, yeah, you have to live in the city of Orangeburg. So if you live within the city limits, you can participate.
okay. And then do you have some people running against you?
Oh yeah, I have two other young men. I don't know if the person holding the seat right now has put up for him to run again. I haven't seen anything from him or anything like that. But as far
Okay.
as I know,
Wow. So I'm going to say vote for Paige Waymar. Give her a chance to
Thank
get
you.
in there and do what she needs to do. Sometimes you need fresh energy. You need new ideas. You need someone who is coming out with something totally different. A lot of times people get familiar with what's already been there. Well, I thank you for that, Paige. I know you get up at
Uh-huh.
4:30 in the morning. I know you start
Yeah.
early. I'm not going to keep you long.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to give you the opportunity to give us some closing comments on anything you want to say. But I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you again. I'm so proud of you. I wanted to definitely let
Thank you.
you know who Paige is. Shout out to your mom and to your siblings, for everybody, for everything they have
Thank you.
who you are today. The last question I'm going to ask you before I let you do your closing comments is if you had to change anything and do it all over again, what would you change?
Nothing. Nothing. Because I wouldn't be here. Nothing. I'm pretty happy with my life.
Because if it didn't break you, it made you, right? It's always a
Yes,
teachable
man.
moment. It's a blessing or a lesson in everything that you go through, right? Well, you heard it from Paige.
Hmm.
Look her up. Make sure you go to her page. And Paige, give us some closing comments, baby girl.
Live every day like it's your last one. Copy it down. Be
Ooh.
kind to a stranger. You never know. That's it.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Paige Waymar, she said it. She's running for town council. You might see her one day running for mayor. Look her up. She's out there. She's got a catering service. Just follow her on her page and make sure you support. You heard what she said. Paige, you have a blessed one. Thank you so much.
You're
And I'll be
welcome.
in touch. Listen, now, I didn't bring it up because I didn't want to say it online, but we still can get that spade game going on. You know
I
that,
knew
right?
you was about to say something about those spades. I knew you was about to say something about those spades. Don't
I,
worry, you can run that because
I can't
I'm
see my
ready.
card.
You've
I
been missing out on that. You've been missing out on that butt whipping for a minute. Yeah, nah.
Yeah,
You ready?
she likes a good game of cards. I knew you slid that in there one for you.
Hmm.
Spades, so I had to slide that in there. So listen,
Yeah, I play cards. I'm a card player.
yeah. I love you. Take care of yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching Story Time. When you see this and you hear this and you watch this replay, just know that if you have a story, you can bring your story to us and we'll let the people see you because you deserve to be heard. All right. Have a good evening. You've been watching Story Time and we'll see you next Story Time. Most of the time we're here on Wednesday. We'll be back Wednesday with the culture of the unspoken word. If you'd like spoken word, you might want to come in here Wednesday at 8 o'clock. We'll be here. All right. And till then, we'll see you next time on Story Time. Thanks, Paige. Talk to you later.
A catalyst for change with the chance to thrive. Crystal is the one to stir up gifts and save lives. You get exposure, promotion, and marketing too. And advertise for business owners just like you. On Storytime, your interview is global. Virtual or in person, just come on the show. Yo, your story matters. Crystals will open the door. 40 years of experience, ready to give you more on Storytime. Get ready for Storytime.